All right, so you're planning on coming here to Thailand. Before you do, just know there are a lot of things that are going to be unusual here to you. Some things are normal here. You're not going to be used to it. It's going to really upset you. You may even get angry. So we're going to go over some of the different things you can expect to see here that should be totally different than what you're used to. And I need you to know this stuff ahead of time because it will make your blood pressure go down a lot when you're here, and you won't get angry. You're going to say, oh yeah, I remember seeing this in a video. Huh, pretty funny. So let's go down the list now. First, let's talk about restaurants and everything associated with that. So a lot of times if you're eating, let's say with a lot of Thai people, what they may do, this is a good possibility, I've seen it here many times, is they order a bunch of food and then you all share it. That sounds like that would be great. Unfortunately for my wife and I, when this happens to us, everyone seems to order all the food that we do not like or we're allergic to. But just know that is a common thing. So if you do eat with a big group of people over here and you do want your own food or you do have dietary requirements, stand your ground and make sure you order your own food. Now, let's talk about ordering food. So once you order food, let's say you're sitting at a table with 6 people. Do not be surprised, and this is where a lot of Westerners lose it, when they bring out the plate one at a time. And I don't mean just like, here's one, here's one, here's one. I'm saying person number 1 gets their food. 10 minutes later, person number 2 gets their food. 5 more minutes later, the other 2 people get their food. You see where I'm going with this? In other words, the food is not usually all coming out at the same time. It's very frustrating. It's something you're going to have to get used to here. So just when it happens to you, know you heard about it first here. Also, don't be surprised if napkins aren't readily available. This is going to depend on the quality of restaurant that you're at. A lot of places, the smaller ones, they don't really have napkins for you. A lot of places, my wife and I, we bring our own. We just take some paper towels, fold them up, and bring them with us. And a lot of times if a place does have a tissue, and there's actually one in reaching distance for me right now, so I will get it for you. This is actually a pretty good one. But a lot of them, if I cut this in half, are really thin, and it's hard to even wipe your mouth with it because it just kind of disintegrates on your face. Just letting you know that. And some of the restaurants only have chopsticks, or maybe chopsticks and a spoon, but most places do have knives and forks. But I just want you to be prepared for all of these things. The food here in Thailand is going to be on the spicy side. So if you don't want spicy food, you better let them know, especially if you're trying new dishes and you're not exactly sure what's in it. And just so you know, even if you say not spicy, doesn't mean it won't be spicy. To them, it won't be spicy, but there's still spices in it. It's just the way it is. So if you are really sensitive to hot food, I would suggest until you got your bearing about what to order and where to order it from and how it's going to be, take small bites at first and make sure it's going to be something that you can handle. If you like spicy, don't be dumb from the get-go and go, oh yeah, I like it spicy. Just nail it. I want it Thai style. Just nail it. You better be careful. You better just go with how it's normally served and then figure it out from there. Another thing about restaurants is a lot of times you're looking at the menu and you find exactly what you want, you order it, and they'll say no have. Okay, well in that case, I will do the strawberry smoothie. No have strawberry. Okay, no problem. Well in that case, I'll have a Thai tea. No have Thai tea. So a lot of times, don't get frustrated. You're gonna ask for things on the menu, they just don't have it. Why? I don't know. It's on the menu. They don't have it. And ending on the restaurant theme as far as tipping, tipping is not necessarily the norm. You can tip, they'll really appreciate it, but it's not like the United States where most of their income is going to come from tips. It's not like that. So another thing you're going to need to get used to when you come here is a lot of establishments want you to take off your shoes. Not a big deal. And how do you know when to take your shoes off and when not to? So if you're going to a small business and you see shoes lined up at the door, it's a good sign you need to take your shoes off. A lot of times if you don't see any shoes anywhere, you're fine by wearing your shoes in. Also look for a sign in English, hopefully, that says take your shoes off. So there you go. There is what I look for and most everyone looks for when we're trying to decide when to take your shoes off. And by the way, if you're going to somebody's house, definitely take your shoes off. So another thing not to get mad about is there's alcohol hours here. There are certain times during the day you cannot buy alcohol. Let's say you go in a 7-Eleven or you go into a grocery store or even a liquor store. There's certain times they cannot sell you the alcohol. And it's kind of embarrassing if you don't know it. Let's say you go into a 7-Eleven and you grab a couple of beers, you go up to the counter and there's people waiting behind you and they don't speak any English and they're basically giving you the X sign that they can't sell it to you and you don't understand why. It has to do with what time of day it is. It's a thing here, so just know that. We offer, if you are planning on moving here to Thailand, is a step-by-step guide on how to move here from your home country. It's hand-holding you with links, how to get your animals here, how to get money transferred here, how to get a driver's license here, what about visas, the whole 9 yards. And that is available on our Buy Me a Coffee link, which is down in the description. And just look for the link where it says step-by-step. Bargaining. Bargaining is a big thing here in Thailand. However, let's talk real quick about when to bargain and when not to bargain. If the price is clearly marked, you do not bargain. At least that's not the norm. I'm not saying you can't try, I'm just saying that's not the norm. If you do not see a price, well, usually I'm going to tell you what I do, I walk away. But if you do not see a price, then I can almost assure you whatever that first price is that they give you is an inflated price for a foreigner. So you can start negotiating right then. But again, if it is clearly marked, probably not negotiable. The importance of 7-Eleven. Okay, so wherever you're coming from, convenience stores are probably everywhere. Here in Thailand, we have 7-Elevens everywhere. No, there's no major competition to them anywhere. However, 7-Eleven has it down to an art form. Not only can you go in there and treat it like a restaurant and get food warmed up for you, you can buy everything you need, everything from mosquito spray to some minor medicine, to every toilet paper, just you name it. So you will learn to love 7-Eleven, love it or hate it, but they have exactly what you're probably looking for, and they're everywhere. And quick tip here, if you have the 1,000 baht note, a lot of people don't want to take it, including bigger restaurants, because they don't want to give up all their change or they don't have the change. 7-Eleven is the greatest place here in Thailand because they'll always accept the 1,000 banknote and they will give you change for it every time. Squatty toilets, squatty potty, whatever you want to call it. So not all the toilets are going to look like Western toilets here. You're going to have the ones that you have to hover over and make sure your butt is pointing towards the hole. So you're kind of squatting down in the squat position, which is why I'm calling it a squatty potty. They have those at a lot of rest stops, at a lot of Thai villages, at a lot of Thai restaurants. So it's something you're going to see. So make sure you kind of figure out how to use that so you don't accidentally crap in your own pants when you're trying to do this maneuver. So just know it's a thing. And while we're on toilets, we got to talk about the butt gun. So a lot of times you're not going to see toilet paper, or you'll see toilet paper outside of the stall and you got to grab it before you get in the stall. And they have this butt gun, which is one of the greatest things ever. So it's kind of like a spray nozzle for your butt. You just take the thing and spray yourself off and you're good. Maybe dry off with some of the toilet paper, but that's how that works. At first, I was like, okay, this is going to be different. Now I can't imagine living without it or why the whole world doesn't use it. So anyway, you will learn to enjoy the butt gun. Soy dogs, otherwise known as street dogs, are everywhere. So you will see street dogs everywhere. Now, are they vicious? I get asked this all the time. 99.9%, I don't see a problem with any of the soy dogs. When I do see a problem with it is when somebody goes up to either shoo it out of the way or go to pet it. It's not somebody's pet necessarily. Do not touch the soy dogs. Can they get aggressive if you're walking with your own dog? Well, obviously this is going to vary with the street dog. For the most part, It's a little bit, I'd give it 50-50. So I have little dogs. Anytime they come up, I just pick my dog up. They don't seem like they're coming up aggressive, but they do waltz right up really fast. So I pick our small Jack Russell Terrier and our mini Dachshund. I'll pick them right up. So far we haven't had any issues in 3.5 years, but just know that soy dogs are everywhere, and no, they're not necessarily gonna move for your vehicle. When you're going down the road, go around them. Now here in Thailand, another thing that's gonna be frustrating for some people, there's a card when you're getting a hotel room 90% of the time. And this card, it means that there's no electricity in your room till you go in and you put this card, magnetic card, in its slot, and then it allows the power to turn on. Great, doesn't sound like that big of a deal. So you go in your hotel room, it's hot, you want your air conditioner on, you turn on your air conditioner, your refrigerator's now turned on, everything's great. You go out for dinner and you take that card with you. Well, there's a delay of about 30 seconds and then the power shuts back off. So you go out in town, you come back late at night, and now your room is hot and your refrigerator lost power in some hotels, and all of your stuff in the refrigerator is now warm again. It's kind of annoying. The way around this is to try to get 2 room keys so you can leave one in the slot and leave with the other, but of course a lot of the hotels know exactly what you're trying to do. So if there's only one of you and you're trying to get 2 of those cards, they're not going to give it to you. So the other option is you can leave the card in that little slot so everything stays on and you don't lock the door. Thailand's pretty safe, but since I don't know where you're going to be in Thailand, that's just a chance you may have to take. One other thing worth mentioning here is that there are trip hazards everywhere, and there's a saying here, safety comes last. So you do need to look where you're going at all times. That being said, it's good for you to have travel insurance if you're coming here for vacation. There is such a thing, and there's a link down in our description where they have travel insurance for the amount of time you're going to be here based on your age and other things. But go down, check it out, and just see how much it would be for you to have travel insurance for the week or 2 or a month that you're spending here in Thailand. Yes, when they actually mean no. So a lot of times you're going to talk to a Thai person and they don't want to upset you. They don't want to make you mad or anything. So a lot of times they're going to agree with you even though they don't agree with you on something. And where this mostly comes into play is when you're needing them to do something and you're saying, is it possible to do this, that, and the other? And they'll go, oh yes, but it's not. So you may not know until after it's too late. So that does cause some frustration with people, or let's say they don't understand you. You know, maybe you're negotiating something on a cab fare or whatever, and you think they understand you and they're acting like they do, and they don't. So that does cause some frustration when dealing with that kind of issue. Another thing is we have police checkpoints here. So the police aren't riding around like they are in the United States ready to pull you over. We have police checkpoints. So you'll know when it's coming, you'll see them down the road and they will check for everything. If you're a foreigner and you're renting, let's say a motorcycle, that's the common one, and you don't have a motorcycle driver's license, you're getting a ticket. If you're not wearing a helmet, you're getting a ticket. If you look like you're abiding by all the laws, they're still probably going to pull you over and find out if you at least have a license. And yes, you will see Thai people with no helmet on going through the checkpoint and nothing happens to them. It's just the way it is here, so just get prepared for it. Dual pricing. So if you do plan on going to any of the national parks, you're going to see a low price if you are Thai, and if you are not Thai, you will see a much inflated price. Now, the philosophy there is the Thais' taxes that they're paying go to this park and they should get in for less. I'll agree with that. However, the foreigners, if they're not paying any taxes, and I know taxes right now are a hot issue in the country for expats here, but if you're not paying taxes, they're assuming you're not, you're going to pay that inflated rate. I'm just getting you mentally prepared that there are 2 different rates. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee. There's a link down in the description. We would really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and also we would love to have you subscribe. We have over 300 videos and all of them are on Thailand, or at least most of them are. Yes, most of them are on Thailand. So thank you for watching, and until next time, Khap Khun Khap.